now is Zachary Gundu, who is a professor of archaeology at the Ahmadu Bello University. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. It does help us make sense of what your reading of all that has been happening is.
Well, in a way, if you are the victim, the killings are senseless. But if you are the one doing the killing, it makes sense. A lot of Nigerians don't appreciate our history. They don't also appreciate what has been happening in this country, especially in the past few years. I believe that if people know history, they will know why the Fulanis are doing this. If people know our recent history, they will know that there is an attempt to grab a lot of land from the people of this country for the Fulani of the whole world. For people who don't know, the Fulanis have their original homeland in Guinea, that is in Futajalon. And they had an outing from Guinea from 1804. The outing in Nigeria was represented by the Usman Dan Fodio Jihad. It succeeded. There was a caliphate which they established outside even the boundaries of this country, because the caliphate from Sokoto, if you go up country, it went into Chad, it went into Niger. And then from independence, we have had about 3 Fulani leaders who have led this country. But in the original homeland, which is Guinea, the Fulanis have not been allowed to lead Guinea. So Nigeria has become their second preferred homeland, where they are inviting the Fulanis of the whole world to come and claim as their own country. And people should realize this. And if we sit down here on our ancestral lands in this country, and somebody comes in to kill us, it becomes a problem. Let me just say this.
Professor, I'm afraid I have to interrupt you.
No, let me just say this.
Just before you say what you say, or what you want to say, I want to ask, how do you have, how are you able to draw this thread? You have talked about history. Yes. We all know that before now, yes, we fought intertribal wars. Yes. There were conquests. The Benin Empire, for instance, was quite expansive. Yes. And it also, made its own conquests. Yet nobody has been able, whenever Ife or that case fighting, nobody is talking about prehistorical or, pre-colonial wars to justify what is happening now.
The Ife Modakakwe war is a local phenomenon. In Nigeria, what happened? When the British people came in, remember, the caliphate was a pre-colonial phenomenon, and it gave the Fulanis some privileges even over the Hausa states, because they manipulated Islam to take over the Hausa states, and it gave them some privileges over the Hausa states and other Nigerian groups which they used to raid as slaves. When the British people came in, people who know colonial history would know that they privileged them. They decided to divide and rule this country by privileging the Fulanis over other groups. So what happened is that the Fulanis moved with their privileges from the pre-colonial period into the colonial period. And now that we have independence, they are also moving with the privileges they had under the colonial government into independent Nigeria. And independent Nigeria is not a feudal system. Independent Nigeria cannot allow a group of people to come into this country from all over West Africa and claim this as their own country. What happened during colonialism was that the states we have presently became fixated in terms of their boundaries.
Well, my question is, how do you know that there is an invitation, as you put it, from local Fulanis or Nigerian Fulanis, as it were, to their counterparts in, say, Guinea?
They have not hidden that. They have not hidden that. Remember, the governor of Kaduna State has admitted that he used state funds in Kaduna to pay Fulani people from outside the country from coming to attack us. Remember that the government is now belatedly saying that the people who are responsible for this are foreign mercenaries. Remember that the Inspector General of Police before this one and the Minister of Agriculture has argued consistently that the people attacking this country are not Nigerians, they are from outside. What this means is that if somebody comes from outside, he's coming at whose instance? Remember where Benue is. Professor, if you come from outside, and you go right into Benue to attack it, where are you coming from?
Just before you go on, there have been other, there have been other possible theories around this. They have talked about how there is an environmental crisis. The fact that even the Lake Chad is drying up, and right now there is a need. I mean, even the desert is encroaching. We're all aware of that, and that pasture that used to be available for cattle is no longer available. Population is exploding. The usual cattle routes are no longer available for cattle to go around as they used to, owing to this population explosion and development and civilization. All of this do not matter in the context of the crisis that we're currently seeing.
No, all of them matter, but they are not as important as the point I'm making. Remember the so-called cattle routes. They are not today's invention. These are cattle routes which were established when the jihad succeeded and there was a Fulani, there was a Sokoto Caliphate. So the cattle routes then were established for the Fulani of the whole West African sub-region to come in and out of the country.
It's not just Nigeria that these routes were established.
No, it's not just Nigeria, but try to remember what I'm trying to say. In Nigeria, which has become the second preferred homeland of the Fulani.
That was the speech of Professor Gendu in 2018. Yes, 2018. And it's unfortunate that today so many people have not heard about him or know what is going on. But we have to keep on revealing this truth. I've said it time without number that the real land grabbers are the Fulanis, followed by their brother who are the expansionists, which is Benin. The Benin are using propaganda, false history, to grab land, even though nobody is giving them the opportunity. Because recently, so many people in a bank, which is sharing the same state with them, have refuted them. And they cannot cross over to Delta to do the same. Now that we are even the Delta, now they are claiming, are fighting for a state. But there's a deliberate intention for the Fulanis to grab land. What are Nigerians doing about it? And sometimes he talks about the history. Yes, I am not happy that history is removed from Nigerian schools. But at the same time, I'm also happy that history is removed. Because if history that we know that we are descendants of Benin is the same history that are being shared, then that history is not true. That is a falsehood. That is a propaganda. That is a pure lie. So now that we are agitating for history to come back, we need to, put head down to correct the history, write the right thing. You have to understand that like we did reverse migration. And migration has nothing to do with descendant. I've said this in time without number. When Israel, after 400 years, migrated from Egypt to the land of Canaan, according to the Bible story, it does not mean they are descendants of Egypt. It doesn't mean that Pharaoh gave birth to them. It doesn't mean that because Moses was born in the Pharaoh's, trained in the Pharaoh's palace, then leading the children of Israel, that is a descendant. He is just like the story of Ezechime. Just exactly similar thing. You must understand this. But the major point I make here is that if you notice, it is Indi Igbo that are pushing the narrative for this Fulani agenda not to succeed. In other territories, like the Middle Belt, they have already taken almost everywhere. They have find themselves grabbing lands and settling. In Kwara State, they have sacked villages. In Plateau, in Benue, they have sacked villages and occupying places. It's still the south and southeast that are finding it difficult to penetrate because they know that Igbo territories there are not going to allow them to let it go. And yet, people will still come online. Igbo people are trying to grab land. Igbo people want to collect our land. Igbo people want to do this. Igbo people want to do that. The day Nigeria will realize what we in the Igbo are standing for, what we defend. We are not here to take your land. We are here to defend your land. And that is why we are preaching for autonomy. That's why we are preaching for resource control. That's why we are preaching for restructuring. That we may go back to restructuring. You understand? That is why we are preaching for it. So that you can control and own your land, both your security and everything. I'm out of here, Joe.
Wata waluboko wabuja tonao nano paziao.
Igbo Unification Movement in collaboration with the National Socio-Cultural Organization present Ọgbakọ Igbo Zara Igbo Oru na Ndịda. Ndị a na-ele anya n'ọgbakọ abụ Igbo Delta State, Igbo Edo State, Igbo Benue, Igbo Kogi, Igbo Bayelsa, Igbo Cross River, Igbo River State, Igbo Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi, Abia, and Imo State. Ebe niile ndị Igbo bi na steeti niile dị na Nigeria, anyị na-ene anya na anyị na-ejikọ aka wee kpaa nkata ka o yesi wee gawara Igbo nke ọma. Ebe anyị na-enwe ọgbakọ abụ na Jesdal Hotel and Suite nke dị n'Ọkpanam by Ọkpanam City Gate. Inwe ajụjụ ọbụla ị ajụ biko kpaa anyị n'ekwentị a 070-356-23645. Nwanne m onye nụrụ ya karịa ibie maka na okwu a na-akpọ gbasara Igbo niile ọ maka ọdịnamma ndị Igbo. Nwanne m kara ibe gị o.